Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Dumbass class. Am I coming through? Who knows? My token doesn't light up anymore. I certainly hope... There we go, switched over. Marvellous. I certainly hope you're all doing well as we carry on with our Dark Heresy campaign. Where, in the last episode, our tech priest defeated the scrap code. A scrap code had...
Useful!
a scrap code had been deposited into the hive's systems, and yeah, unfortunately, the upper echelon of the Mechanicus in this hive kind of succumbed to scrap code madness as they tried to study it and poke it and prod it and many other things. Our tech priest, when given the option, would you like to keep it or destroy it? She destroyed it. Correct option. As we come almost back into the campaign, before the group ended the episode, they decided to try and contact Ceres Nightshade, the upper hive noble who owns and runs a underhive gang that has its mandate being that they are to try and help and improve the citizens' lives where they can. Bit of a goody two shoes. However, she has done quite well for herself in the underhives. And with the scrap code no longer interfering with certain communications within the hive, they were indeed able to get through to her. I'm going to speed things along a little bit as the group get the all clear from their Inquisitor. They head off in the gun cutter to go and pick up Ceres and the planetary governess. One of the group is not with them, however. She is on her way to the Mechanicus's main outpost within the upper hive. This is basically where their mainframe is. Over the years they would move it, but this is where it is at the moment. So Winters is on a little adventure down to check on them. To be perfectly honest with you, it's going to take a couple of hours for both of you to kind of reach your destination. So as the group in the gun cutter take off, there's only been a few times that most of you have seen the hive city in all its majesty. One of the people who has definitely seen it the most would be Ezio, the pilot. Anyone in the co-pilot seat or the turrets would also get good eyes on the actually no, you don't have turrets on this thing. You've got the operated from the inside, so the windows, if there are any. Before the spire of the hive city was the jeweled crown atop the head of the mighty infrastructure below. Glittering peaks, spires, bejeweled in some cases. In other cases, these mass towers of wealth and excess would have company logos on them if they belonged to a guild, or would be decorated in a colour for a house that represented that colour. At least Ezio sees the burning remains, the black smoke that billows up from some of these once mighty spires as the bombs that were dropped on it with no shield and no warning or chance to prepare left many of them with their blast shields, the armored ramps that would raise up over their windows to protect them more were all left unlowered. So any bomb that detonated near caused mass destruction to the inside, and you can see many spires have fallen. Again, because of where the location is that you need to pick Ceres up from, and the fact that there's so much debris, so much destruction around, it takes you a little while, Ezio. It's not a difficult flight by any means, but it's just the maps don't line up with what you're seeing. Eventually, you do come to the area where you're like, okay, it's definitely here. I need to start descending. As you're descending, you are near enough certain as you come down along what should be the start point of the founding parade road. There is a huge piece of spire that's collapsed in a whole chunk, just bang. All the surrounding walls going up at least 2 meters are just painted red. A darkening red now, more of a rusty colour. There's not much else that you can see, but you do notice this as your gun cutter flies through, comes down the parade founding day road. You swoop down to the next level where it's still high enough for you to take air vehicles, because you're still technically in the spire. You come down to an area that matches what Ceres described to you and the location that was given to you on the map. Down here, the destruction is lessened because of the road above, but you can still see where civilians have been trampled on in their attempt to escape, where explosions have come through, like the shockwave found a way round a building, or there was an opening for light and air, and you can just see where it's mass slaughter. But as these are civilians and you're a hardcore inquisitorial agent, you hardly give a fuck, so you just... you have got jaded, right? Everyone has jaded, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Pretty sure at this point, most of us either have jaded or
we should have gotten
jaded.
it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's why I assumed. It's like, yeah, he must have jaded. He's a hardcore. He doesn't care. You
I do
settle
have
down.
shaded. I also have never quit. I can't remember what never quit does.
If you would like, Ezio, you can stay in the cockpit. Otherwise, you have landed. If you'd like to lower the ramp and go and explore and look for Ceres, then by all means.
I guess I would. The gun cutter has sensors, right?
Sensors in 40k genuinely add up to a universal. You have an auger array, yes.
I guess I could take a look at it.
Yes, you can. It is a tech use with a plus 30, I believe, because you do have the good stroke
Wait,
best.
I still have Winters with me, right?
No, Winters is currently on her way to the Mechanicus's.
Any chance I could use awareness instead?
So you need to activate the auger first. And then I guess afterwards you could use the... Well, because it's awareness for the Auspex, not the auger. Although the Auspex is used for movement, isn't it? I believe it is. So technically, yes. So let's say you don't need a tech use to turn it on. Just flick the switch. Well, I'll kind of give you that. So you're just... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what Jim uses his auger array for all the time in Only War. So yeah, it's a plus 30 awareness with the Auspex part of the auger array sensor array. Also, can you use tech use with perception? Is that how Jim was doing it? I believe that is.
That's
Can
in
you-
sword agility.
Yes, you can't do it in Dark Heresy like that.
No, you can't do it
Okay.
on these sheets, unfortunately.
I guess I don't suppose agility works.
Is the awareness as a reroll, or you do the intelligence-based one?
Well, I
Or-
believe Albie wants to use the specs to look for life signs and movement.
Oh yeah, no, that's the.
The specs
That's
part of the auger array.
Yeah, that's an awareness with a reroll, I believe.
Okay.
Why? Oh, fucking hell.
So I'll just roll an awareness
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking.
you're just using the ship systems to assist you.
And I guess I'll use that reroll.
Yes, the free reroll for the good system. So 2 degrees of success. You don't get a massive. Don't get that much information when the Auspex ping goes out and all the sensors go off to detect things. There's so much biological data in the air of human particles and bits, and it struggles to locate anyone via the human organic part of it. Like normally Jim can scan and detect, well, someone like breathing over there, or someone that there's just too many gases being released from all these dead bodies. The concrete is also causing a lot of blind spots where you just it doesn't there's too much concrete has fallen down, there's too much thickness from the buildings. But as it does go out, it does appear as if there are 2 individuals sheltering in a old dressmaker's shop, let's call it. Which, as you look out the window, Ezio, you can see that there is the building that you've landed next to is a dressmaker's shop, and a lot of the windows at the front were glass, so they've all broken. You can't, from your vantage point, you can't see that far into the building, but it makes sense that if Ceres is around here, it's quite possible that she's hiding out within the building, and you are finding, 2 life signs. Or movement twice, shall we say.
I pass on this information.
Alright, I guess we'll check out that location first then, if you want to take her down.
No, it's landed. It's
Oh, sweet. Okay. Ezio, are you staying in? Or are you coming with?
I guess I'll come along. I put it on parking brake. Lock everything down so they don't run away with it. I'm half convinced I'm making an error here, but anyway.
I mean, it's all of our team except for Winters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not exactly the best one to talk to Ceres, so I might stick back a little bit and at least keep an eye on the area and the gun cutter. So I would recommend that Liliana goes up and be's the talking head, at least for the initial contact.
He's the best talky one of us.
Me, but I don't like them.
No, Liliana.
I mean, I'm pretty decent at talking.
Oh.
You're just the best at shouting, Darius.
I mean, I could try and talk to her.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Is Jim here? Or is he?
Jim is
Oh yeah.
engaged.
Oh shit. Yep. Okay. Slight change of plan then. Tiffany and Liliana will sit by the gun cutter for now, and we'll just move up and engage. Part of me wants to say affix bayonets, but unfortunately we can't.
I mean, we still can.
Yeah.
Question is, will we use it?
6 bayonets in an authoritative tone. Only 2 of you have bayonets, if that, to attach. Not quite the same as a whole regiment.
Mordecai has a big sword. You could just kind of like stand there, hold it upright, and go click.
Yeah.
Just twist it in this angle. Jesus Christ!
The fuck?
I'm guessing that was really close to the mic. That's why it was so loud. Not anyway. So the next talky person has suddenly is not able to talk. So, Harris, do you want to read?
Yeah. I'll start leading. I'll approach. I think Mordecai, you were the second most comfortable with them, right?
I don't know where you got that idea from, but
they freely gave you twink lessons. Actually, they didn't need lessons, but at least stripping lessons. Mordecai already had the twink bit down, apparently.
well, thank you for noticing. I mean, if you need me to dance in the corner while you talk to her, sure.
No. Oh God. I mean, if out of character, if the fucking planetary governess isn't that much pain, maybe the exotic dance in the corner will distract her long enough for us to fucking negotiate. Okay.
I have returned.
Alright, so the 3 of us are approaching. Liliana and Tiffany are going to have to stay behind for now.
Cool.
Oh.
All right.
Fuck.
Sure. So you hit the button and the ramp lowers. You come out, obviously, prepared, checking around, looking around your situation. The smell's pretty bad already. Some of you would be used to this by now, others maybe not. This many dead bodies and guts opened and so on and so forth. Yeah, kind of stinky. But as you scan the surrounding areas, there's no movement coming from the corpse piles, carpet. I suppose it's more of a carpet of corpses, really.
Okay. I am moving forward with the weapon raised. Hang on, which weapon though?
Sure. So you
know what? I'm going to use the bolt pistol just for sheer exposure.
For gravitas, just for the occasion, to look right in the moment. Sure. You leave the gun cutter's sturdy ramp and you enter the corpse carpet and you approach the building on one of the corners, so you have full coverage of the what once was ornate plasteel concrete, whatever it is. You approach and you're able to give overwatch to the others as they move into position.
I am going to do an awareness. So,
sure.
Any bonuses or negatives?
You can have a +20 for taking your time. Light isn't amazing down here, but neither is it it horrendous. As you look into the shop, there are some glow globes that are still illuminated, giving off light. There are others that are broken, of course. You can see far better into the shop where they had mannequins set up with fine clothes and blah de blah. These are all very much damaged, and in some cases you're pretty sure some things have been looted. But you don't really see any movement, but you do see there was an ornate door at the back of the shop. Something destroyed the door, and you don't think it was shrapnel, because the rest of the walls at the back and around there are nearly undamaged, except from some smoke and debris and so on. Whereas that door, which looked kind of sturdy, has been yeeted.
Okay. I'm keeping my pistol ready. I'm going to motion to the guys to kind of spread out a little bit, try and get a good vantage point on that, and see. I'll try and make the motion like point my eyes, point in the area. Sorry, point at each of them, point at the eyes, point in the area, just kind of indicate of give a sweep or give a look.
I do as asked.
Sure, the others can move up into equally, the concrete that holds up the windows. They move into separate ones. They've got eyes across the front of the shop looking in.
Yeah. I'm good.
Beethoven a few meters up, so it has an aerial view.
It can look at the floor above. Unless it goes into the shop and gets an aerial view, it's going to go...
No, just above us. So
Okay,
that it don't get jump from the rear.
Okay, sure. I understand what it's doing now.
Yeah. Can I do an awareness?
Yes. Plus 20, like Geddes.
Plus 20, and I'm also going to do a Psyniscience at the same time. Just because I can.
Hey, better than I did. Funny, your Psyniscience test was better than mine as well.
Funny that one.
So, Mordecai, as you look around into the building, again, much like what Geddy saw, the mannequins, the fine dresses that are destroyed, blah blah blah. You also notice that it looks as if the dust that's been laid down from the explosions, that someone's come in after. They've gone through the far window, which is... So I should have explained it a little bit more. It's a building that's on the corner. It's got a shop front full of windows, and the side is full of windows. Someone's got in from the back side, dragged something in because the dust has been moved, and then done something to yeetus deletus a door into bits, and then dragged something back. You then see footprints that have moved around the shop. Much like Darius saw the looting, yes, someone who dragged something in looted some stuff and then appears to have gone back into the shop. Back into the shop. Yeah, kind of makes sense. As you do your Psyniscience, however, unfortunately, you're doing a Psyniscience around a vast number of recently deceased people who, many of them died in utter terror and panic as they were crushed by others who were fleeing in terror and panic. The raw emotions in this area are overwhelming. Your Psyniscience score is reduced by 4.
Fuck.
You don't... After you feel this immediate wave of... And again, it's a carpet of dead. There are possibly tens... maybe hundreds of thousands who have just been crushed in a stampede or obliterated through shock waves that have come through or falling floors. The amount of death here is hard to imagine. But again, being a hardened member of the Inquisition, you are able to overcome any of the. If you were a new player, you'd be taking some insanity and possibly some corruption from this, but you're a seasoned veteran at this point, so it does affect your ability to detect stuff. But yeah, there's no negatives after that. You don't sense any psychic activity going on down here, although the scarier part is it would be all too easy to cast down here, as the veil does feel weakened.
Okay, awesome. Don't do stupid shit around here. Got it.
It's harder to focus, but hey, you want to use the screams of a dam to make your fireballs better?
Why not? The Mechanicus,
Yes, sir, demon sir.
the Mechanicus used the death of the world to improve their artillery shells.
Yes, they use destroyed worlds to make their fucking guns that destroy walls better.
It's the quake shells, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
quick cannons.
So
Oh,
dumb. I love it.
Part of the sci-fi science part where I have to go, bullshit, I call, but still, fine, whatever.
Oh no, there's also those other ones, the missiles, the 4 Titans that. It's not the Quake one. They're different missiles, but they have to keep changing the crew out every few hours because if you sit too long on them, you start hearing the cries of the damned.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of those ones. It's just some things I'm just like, okay, it's cool, but it's bullshit. I don't see how you've harnessed this, but anyway,
Magic.
magic. So yes, you don't detect any spells or any sorceress activity, Mordecai. Although it would be simpler to do.
Yeah. The fact that it's simpler to do is worrying enough. Around at the moment, but they could do it easier.
Yeah.
Well, it's so think of it as someone who's laying in all this blood, all this torture and misery, and they cry out for the Emperor and he doesn't answer, and they cry out for any entity, anything, and you know, a image appears in the blood.
Pretty sure this is.
You know, and the
very fit
image
ground of
offers
corn
to
right
help
now.
if they could just make one last sacrifice. And that might be enough to make a contract, and boom, you've got a demon host, or you've got some other disturbing thing. 40k is lovely like that.
What you're saying is we could make our own demon host here if we were renegade.
Yeah, an uncontrolled one, yes. Or you could at very least allow demons to slip through the veil much, much, much easier. Like, you wouldn't need a name, you just need to do a couple of ritualistic things, and you could quite easily, you know, pop a Nurgling or 1,000 out. A couple of plague walkers?
Plague bearers.
Plague bearers, this one. My brain
Yeah.
for a moment. But anyway, so as you three look into the destroyed shop, how would you like to proceed?
Okay.
Carefully.
I'm gonna take the lead here. So I'll be the first to approach the door. Wait for the other guys to kind of like crowd in a little bit and not get them right on top of me before I just move in and.
Yeah. I'm gonna be relatively close on you because I have got the shield, but you seem to just be going ahead. So.
Yeah. It's all right. I have a lifetime subscription to Winter's Medicare care. Apparently.
So is it fair to say all three of you have moved into the shop? Perhaps you've taken up a position near the shop counter, just going, before you get to that opened door, that destroyed door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably the one closest to the door itself. I don't
I will probably have prepared my multi-melta on the stand.
Sure. So Ezio's a bit further back, resting on a previously was a display case, is now making a nice gun, rack, whatever.
I mean, it's still a display case. It just displays something more impressive.
I swear to
Yeah.
God, if you fucking team kill me.
And as we go to move on to the next section,
If you're not willing to shell your own possession, you're not willing to win.
You call
Winters.
yourself a member of the guard.
Winters, we come over to you. So, Winters, I'll give the guys a minute to see if they can understand their folly. So Winters, you are currently on essentially it's a monorail for the nobility, the higher ups. Well, not a monorail, a bullet train that takes you very quickly around certain areas. It's very power inefficient, but it gets you there much quicker. After a quick ride, you then get taken to an area where the savant is not allowed to go. This is the Adeptus Mechanicus's main sanctum upon this hive world. There's a huge emblem of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Normally there would be a number of servitors at the very least guarding, whereas at the moment there is nothing there. There is an area where you can either scan your hand, you can input your data tendril to deliver your ident digitally, or many other different identity scanning devices.
I'm going to walk up, pick one at random that works for me, and use it to gain entry.
Sure. Upon receiving your basically your Mechanicus ident chip, the doors open up. The Seneschal bids you good day and leaves. As the doors open, you can see that this is quite an impressive chamber. You make your way in, and as is normal with the Adeptus Mechanicus, these types of sanctums are very holy, very devoted to the machine god, and that is apparent. There are skulls hanging everywhere with data parchments, with data readouts all over them. You come into the main greeting area, or the main corridor of the sanctum, where you can go to the different areas, and as is usual, there is a huge everyone would be slightly different, but they all defy logic or defy the laws of nature. There's something to show the Omnisire has rule over all. In this case, it is probably a £20,000 chunk of plasteel. No, is it plasteel? It's not, or is it ceramite? No, ceramite. Probably be a massive chunk of ceramite that has been sculpted into the cog and skull of the Omnisire, that is just floating in the middle of this huge chamber. It's just floating, slowly spinning around, the gears going round as the skull itself spins. As the skull itself, the eyes come upon you. They would have sensors in them that light up and proclaim your ident to the room. Again, normally you'd expect tech adepts, initiates, tributi, servitors, servo skulls, pretty much everyone to be here, doing something, whereas they're not.
Oh, they're either dead or keeping shit from exploding.
A few moments later, as you start reading off the different corridors where they lead to, and you see, head. The main chain command center, there we go. A lone servo skull bobs its way over to you. There's a digital greeting, and a request for you to follow it to Tech Acolyte. Was it Tech Initiate Acolyte Treves, anyway. You're going to a Treves.
Yeah, I intend to follow because I'm here to fix shit.
Sure. The servo skull kind of meanders. It doesn't seem to have its priorities set quite correctly, as it seems to take its time a little bit. As you get to the main chamber, you'd notice that there are dozens upon dozens of combat servitors that all turn and ready their weapons towards you, just lining this chamber. But after they see your digital ident chit, they power down their weapons and go back into scanning observation mode.
Are any of them heavy bolter servitors?
They don't seem to be. They don't seem to be heavy bolters at the start. They're stub weapons and heavy stubbers and so on. But as you get closer and closer to the main sanctum's door, again, this is a huge thing with blessings and all kinds of omnisign crap chucked on it. They do become heavy bolter servitors. These ones look as if they mean business, whereas the others kind of looked as if they'd been called back from other duties somewhere else in the hive. As you get to the door, again, there's no greeter, but the servo skull enters the door into a recess, and it gives a second greeting to you and welcome to Command Center Zeta Gamma F4. As the door opens, you can just see dozens upon dozens upon dozens and dozens and dozens of tech acolytes running around, seemingly headless. Like, they're struggling like you would not believe, just to get basic shit under control. There's 3 who are dead on the ground, who are in the center of the room. For a moment, you think, is this from the coup? Is this from the takeover? Is this when you see another tech acolyte do something wrong and a massive bolt of electricity goes straight to the chrome dome and he falls over dead?
Fucking damn it!
You very quickly, with your knowledge of the biological and mechanical, know that these tech acolytes do not have the blessings of the Omnisire to do certain tasks, and their basic cybernetics are being overwhelmed. Some of them don't have potentia coils, and yet they are trying to do things on systems that vast amounts of power goes through your person. Without a potentia coil, it's a death sentence. Yet you see another one jump into the chair, jam the thing into his input, and they do seem to be able to function for a few, maybe 3.5 seconds before another one falls to the floor. You would also
the same chair over and over again?
No, these are different areas. So this chamber has a central command. It's like a standing desk. Maybe 2 or 3 tech priests at a time could stand in there, and in the main command console, all the way round is the secondary command consoles where tech priests would be stood doing things, and then there's a third and a fourth line. Circle or semicircle, because there is an exit point, and it's not the same tech acolyte it's not the same chair where they're dying, but they are dying in a decent number. But again, you kind of get the idea that they've already planned out, right, we need to do this. We can only do it 3 seconds at a time. We can complete this if enough of us give our lives to complete this task. Very devout.
Jesus Christ, that is so incredibly inefficient. Okay, I'm just going to march straight through the center and see if there isn't a way I can rein this in and control this excessive loss of life.
So as you come in, Winters, there's almost this immediate, the chaos just comes to a hush as your red robes march through an area that most of these individuals wear white robes or have just a red cowl, or they are not true tech priests. So that red robe marching into the center of the circle hits an immediate attention of something is. As the three in the middle take note of everyone around them stopping and looking in shock, they turn round. Seeing you, they all three take a knee and pronounce their names and ranks. None of them have the rank to be in the position that they are in. And Zatha is the one who stands up first, not looking you directly in the eyes, proclaims he is the leader of this Mechanicus cohort. He is the sole reason why the Omnisire's blessings have been disgraced. He begs your forgiveness, but without your guidance and Potentia coil, the systems will overload and they will lose control. Again, these seem to be incredibly devout followers of the Omnisire's cult, who completely understand they have no right being in here, but they are trying their best. Seems like maybe the former tech priests were also kind of harsh upon them.
The amount of fucks for doctrine that Winters is giving right now is precisely 0. Is there a specific point where I think I would help the most? I'm not asking them, I am thinking that myself.
So normally there would be a Magos or a someone high up who's got the Potentia coil and the augments to handle the input of data, who would stand in the middle. They would take on most of the strain of running the systems of the hive. It's much like basically running a Titan, only the machine spirit doesn't have the weaponry to kind of destroy you. There's a lot of computers all biding for your attention. So normally you could you'd have the three in command, you'd have one who's in control of them, and they're spreading the data flow between many different tech priests, so the strain is lessened. You can do this, Winters, and there are enough tech acolytes and initiates who are connected. Again, admittedly, they are die quite quickly. So the strain won't be horrendous upon your mind. But yeah, for you to take control is basically just about standing in the middle, plugging in, and taking the data upon yourself. And then allocating who needs to do what job, what systems need to be dealt with first.
Then I shall do that, but I will also tell the 3 guys that are there to stay there and help. Specifically, look what I'm doing, observe, learn, and copy it, essentially.
They all make the sign of the cog and turn back to their stations, and essentially they're waiting to plug in.
And I shall plug in and hope I don't explode.
Okay, so as you plug in, they all plug in at the same time. It's actually quite good. Can you give me a willpower test with a -10 rather than a -30? So you have eased the load.
I am going to re-roll that.
Oh, much better. Much better. Okay. So then can I get an intelligence test Again, you've asked a 3 to help you straight away, so the intelligence test will be flat.
That's not good. Does the MIU help in any way?
You are plugged in. I do believe it's a tech use, though, isn't it? It's not intelligence.
Yeah, the MIU technically only applies to tech use.
Sure. As again, you did take on the assistance of the other ones. I'll give you the +10 for this one. So then the next, can I get a toughness test? This one is actually with a +20 for you. Okay, so as you plug in, there is just this overwhelming power that flows through you. And of course it would. Your systems are literally intaking power at an almost alarming rate, but you're able to control this quite easily and send off the excess power to different systems that require them within this command chamber. For example, the lights get a bit brighter, the air conditioning comes on, the airflow is circulating. Little things like this. There's more of a hum that's coming from the room now as systems are coming online and power, the nectar of the Omnisire is flowing in a more correct manner. You can feel the other 3 straining to deal with the data that's being given to them. And they have already basically told or requested others to join, to connect, to help with the data overflow. And again, you can quite easily withstand the input of data. It takes you a while to actually get a grasp of, holy shit, this is a lot of data. What does it all write? So that bit goes there. That's to do with power relays. That's water. That's this, that. Yeah, it takes you a while to organize. The strain on the others, you can feel in the back of your mind, lessens, but then it increases as, again, they don't have the intelligence to deal with some of these issues that are coming up. Along with that, there's with all this extra power, your systems are heating up, and there's a burning within your core. But again, you're able to just, with your brute toughness and relaying, pushing different systems to activate on your person, you're able to use up that extra power, and you're just able to spread the strain on your own systems far easier. It's at this point that you're really feeling more of them are coming online. The data is being easier to process, and you can see where there are errors in the code where, for example, too much air is getting into this system, too much water flow is going here, too much pressure is building up here, and you're able to start, you're able to start dedicating repairs to different acolytes who have been, who are attached, who are jacked in right now, we'll call it. And you can see that they're slowly able to rewrite or use what knowledge they have collectively in some cases, to fix different systems. Before you've really realized it, it feels like an eternity. It feels like so long. And yet, in reality, only about 2 hours have passed, which is quite a long time, but then, considering it feels like an eternity has passed, it's not. When you would feel another tech priest come onto the system. Veneer, rather, has arrived and has immediately been appraised of the situation and jacked in himself, plugged in, whatever. and you can feel his consciousness going about and assisting you. However, he definitely has, there's a vitriol there. Like, whereas you do not care about the etiquette, he does, and this clearly has upset him. But seeing the gravitas of the situation, he is complying with you as an Primus overseer, and he is taking on the beta role. He's turned into a bit of a beta at the moment. And he has rolled over and presented his tom-tom. Metally as it is. So it will still take you some time, and Festus does give you a update that 7 tech priests, a mighty 7, have been requisitioned from the fleet in orbit and are being sent down. They should be about 3 or 4 hours.
I would like, now that the strain has eased a little, take the 3 guys that took charge here and actively show them how to handle certain more complex tasks. And specifically, in the case that the person that actually knows how to handle complex functions is not available, you will have to adapt.
So,
it is inevitable. It must be done.
As you disconnect, before you disconnect, you give the order to the other 3, and you come out. 2 of them, the one that you was named, removes his, and he seems to be okay. He doesn't seem to be so bad. The other one who disconnects doesn't look so good. He's like, you can see that there's the blessings that he has on his body. The skin around them has burnt quite considerably. You'd imagine that skin will have to be removed and grafted at some point. It's not an emergency, but it's still dead. The 3rd one doesn't move at all, except from his hands continue to do his job. As you walk round to look at him, his eyes have popped. His blessings that he has on his face are red hot, and you can smell now the burning flesh. Something that you had just got used to as you were stood here and it was burning around you. And he looks he's not brain dead, he's still doing his job, but these are the last few seconds, and oh, there he goes. Collapses to the floor.
I will try and catch him before he just flops onto the floor and lower him down.
Sure, removing the data jack, which again is hot, which it shouldn't do. If he had the right blessings, they would have adapted the power, but as you remove it, yeah, it's steaming, and you can see steam and smoke just coming out of the blessing itself now. He may have actually ruined the blessing, which would be the greatest affront to some tech priests.
I mean, it is unfortunate. It is very unfortunate, but it was a requirement to save something greater.
Indeed. The other 2 nod.
The 2 remaining, I would like to give them a crash course on how to handle this stuff, essentially, so that they can effectively take on more tasks, that they have a better understanding of how things work instead of just doing things, so that when the tech priests actually do get here and they do get someone who's actually properly trained to handle this stuff, that they're not out in the blank, like that they actually can assist more, that they can help more.
Sure. Yeah. No, you can spend some time going over that. You can also technically at this point, if you denote someone who should be risen to the rank of tech priest or tech initiate or acolyte or engine seer, you are able to do that. As long as they don't look too highly,
Bring
too
up the
closely at,
chart.
you know, your at your, you know, your background. They see you look too closely into who this tech priest is, who's given all these, you know, rank ups away. They might start asking questions. But for now, you know,
I will specifically not do that, and I will instead tell them to earn that right from the next person they serve. If they manage to effectively work as a whole, as servants to the Messiah, as a group, to keep the hive running at peak efficiency, specifically both in terms of mechanical efficiency and in living efficiency, then they will earn that title in basically no time at all.
sure, okay. You will be busy for the next few hours. You will have to periodically reconnect and just assist Festus with a few things. But yeah, you can take time and give them a crash course in certain systems. So, as we jump back to the other three who are currently waiting to pounce or annihilate everyone, except from himself, the group at the clothes shop. So, Darius, Mordecai, and Ezio, what would you like to do?
Send in Beethoven through the doorway.
Sure, you can do that. Beethoven comes in, comes down, and comes into the building. He can enter the doorway. What would you like him to do? Go through the doorway and just start scanning, start broadcasting.
Just start scanning.
Okay. If you give me a tech use test for Beethoven. There is a... Oh, no, I think he still has poor equipment, or common equipment. I believe it's a plus 20, not 30. No. No, I believe it's flat, actually, because it's just common, isn't it? No, sorry, I'm being dumb. A common one is the same one as what Jim's got, and that has a plus 20. So yeah, it's plus 20 to your... So Beethoven's tech use or awareness, because I
But
can't
how
remember what
much?
he has.
Plus 10 or plus 0?
Plus 20.
Nope.
Please, fate point. Oh wait, hang on.
It's
Wait, you used tech use.
it's Beethoven, because remember,
Oh.
So they're not proper. Like, you bought
Yeah.
some cheap servers. They're not quite.
Yeah.
At least I didn't bring mine along with me.
You know, Tech Priest probably should have upgraded these a long time ago. So as Beethoven comes into the room, begins scanning. He doesn't pick up anything.
I sign to Darius to throw a rock through the door.
All right. I'll do that. I'll just pick up a little bit of debris and I'll try and toss it into my line of sight. At least in an area that I have line of sight on. So like I'll throw it, like if I'm facing a wall that's facing away, I'll throw it at like the foot of the wall there to see what gets the reaction.
So you throw a stone through the broken door. It goes down a corridor, hits a wall, and bounces down another corridor.
That's a damn good throw.
Short corridor.
Okay. Let me see. I think I actually have something here. I think think.
You guys are going to hate yourself, and I am going to pull something in a minute, which is going to make you hate yourselves even more. But it's fine.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Like I do feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm just not.
Liliana.
Yes.
You are here because I saw the B come up like moments before
Yes.
I asked.
Jim is back.
No, sorry, what was that?
Liliana, as you sit in the gun cutter with Tiffany, as the others go off looking for Sarah's Nightshade, get a buzz on your comm bead.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit lost. I don't know what's happening.
We're looking for Sarah's Nightshade. You have her convert, would say.
We are
don't.
now stuck in a suspicious shop, and we don't dare to advance.
No. You were all there when Liliana called Sarah in the ready room.
Why
I don't think I was actually.
You were.
Why
Why
didn't you just call her and ask her where she was?
No, they know where she is. They're advancing on her as if they're going to fight her. It's just, I thought you were going to land and then communicate to her, and then she'd come to the ship.
Okay, my apologies. Because I wasn't going to sit on the gun cutter. I was going to follow them because Sarah is my friend too.
The others,
Mostly my friend is. So
you get a
who's
buzz.
pinging me?
You get a buzz.
I'll answer.
Hey, who the fuck is throwing rocks at me? Do I need to come out there and shoot some fuckers? Was that you?
One moment. Don't shoot anyone, please. I am going to call Darius because I'm left on the gun cutter.
Okay.
Darius, are you throwing rocks at Sarah's by any chance?
Yep.
Yeah. Why didn't you just call her to tell you we're arriving?
Well, you and Tiffany kind of seemed out of it, and I did want you guys to take the lead on this. But since I got slotted here, I'm just gonna throw rocks at her. Still don't like her.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell you to stay put because I don't know where you are, and
All right. I'll break silence now. Hang on a second. I'll flick the comm bead and Saris.
Oh, that was you fucking bastards! Why are you throwing rocks at me?
I'll get off.
Hang on, was I actually close? I didn't intend it to be that close. If I was, that was a damn good shot.
So from the corner where the rock bounced off a wall and went kicking down, Saris appears. She appears with her fist raised. She has a lot of rings on her fingers, but she doesn't have a weapon in her hand.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Seeing that it's you lot, she does lower her fist.
It's just you and her, right?
I didn't think it was safe, with what I'm carting around with me. And she walks back into the wherever she went, and she does walk out, but you can see Sarah's is being heavy-handed with her. It appears as if the planetary governess, who was in all her finery, like a dress that was worth probably a small planet's entire yearly tithe, obliterated. One arm is missing. Another dress has been placed over her dress to act as a bandage for the stump. The bottom of the dress has been ripped away, leaving her legs and thighs very exposed, and you can see that she has very alluring fishnet stockings on, and her makeup is all smudged and smeared where once it was perfect. Her hair is all... It was big and poofy when they started the ceremony. Lots of hairspray to get it to this big fucking monstrosity. It's all over the place. There's dust and debris that's stuck in it, and you can see where she's been crying and sniveling, and there's like snot streaks that go across her face where she's had to wipe her face with her hand, and yeah, but pretty fucked.
All right.
You look worse than I feel.
I'll come back to Saracen and say, my apologies. They kind of forgot that to call in advance.
So I'm gonna call back to Ezio just to radio in our the commissariat. I'll ask. Fuck, I forgot her name again already. Nightshade, Nightingale.
Nightingale, something else entirely.
Yes. Nightingale is someone completely different. I'm asking Nightingale, is there a Nightingale? I said it again. I didn't mean to. I meant Nightshade. I'm actually asking her, is there like a stable chair or anything like that in there? I can perform at least a diagnosis on her, or at least search her for critical wounds apart from the missing arm.
Yes, she gestures. She walks in, like motions for you to all come into the back room, and you can see where he's had. Basically, there's a small pool of blood, where Sarah says, and you can see where there's now, at the very least, you can take notice. Sarah's dress is also ripped and fucked, but you can see the bottom of Sarah's dress in the corner covered in blood. So she's clearly removed her dress from the arm and then put another dress on there. So she's done very basic first aid on the planetary governess. One of the problems is the planetary governess has a very pale face from the makeup. Very, very pale. But she's also very, very pale because of blood loss. So where the streaks of her where she's been crying have run away her makeup, she still kind of looks very similar. If you do a first aid diagnosis on her, you can have a +20 for taking your time.
All right. I'm probably going to fear point this. Yep.
She appears to be missing an arm.
Fuck, yeah.
And maybe a leg. Hang on a minute. Let me...
Basically, I'm having her sit down the table or sit down in the chair, looking over, just all right.
Yep, she's missing an arm for definite. You're sure now?
A very bad case of no fucking arm. All right.
I will tell you at the moment, she is stable. She's no longer bleeding. However, she is at critical. She has lost an arm. 1 wound. That is to all of you, 1 wound. And she's fucked.
Yep.
So very, very careful. Very, very careful with her.
Yeah.
I think it's like -5.
Now I wish I was there, because I could heal her, at least a little bit.
Correction.
I mean, she's a noble. She has enough money for...
She's a heretic. She has no money now.
Oh yeah, right. She's became a heretic.
I mean, heal her enough so that she doesn't die.
You are literally in the ship. You are in the ship, which is less than 50 meters away.
Ow!
Ezio parked right next to the shop that the group are currently in.
Oh.
You could just sprint out here and...
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll go there then.
Ceres will give you and Tiffany a much warmer greeting than anyone else. Tiffany
I'll respond. I'll give her one reading too.
Tiffany and Sarah do for a moment exchange a very, very girly thing I'm not going to be able to do properly, but they both have a decent number of rings on currently. Tiffany stole some from the group, technically. And then Liliana bought her some as well, I believe. And then she obviously has her own.
We're both kitted in jury. Are you kidding me?
So,
We're still a bunch of
yeah.
jury.
So, the Sarah's is like, looking at Tiffany's rings, and Tiffany, seeing what Sarah's is rocking is, But I'm not going to do Tiffany's voice because I believe it's a female Scottish voice, so it's going to sound exactly the same. But she says, "Holy shit!" or "Holy God, Emperor above, you brought the big boy." And Sarah's just smiles. After that, you may, you can, if you want, Jim, to do something with the planetary governess. I will tell you now, as you come out of the gun cutter, there is maybe 100,000 or 10,000 people who have been killed, smushed, trampled upon, died in horrific ways, and you're currently walking on a human carpet.
Disgusting. It's good to see delicious, but I'll ask Mordecai, because I was spaced out. Is it okay to cast a spell here, or is there any effect? I have yet to do a senescence.
I would avoid it for now.
Right. Right. I'll get the governess carefully into the ship, and as soon as we're out of this location, I'll cast endurance.
Yeah, probably the best plan there.
Unless anything else funny needs to happen, you can all get onto the gun cutter. The planetary governess can be put in. I believe you have a spare room which was converted into a holding cell, where she can be placed.
Yep. I can stand watch for now.
It's an empty room with a bolt down chair and bed.
Yeah,
So
it's more that she doesn't try to swallow her own tongue or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nightshade goes into the galley and begins like drinking and eating and cleaning.
Have you told the governess that she's under arrest? Because she shouldn't know yet, should she? We don't.
I think you can safely assume that Ceres has rubbed in the fact, like Ceres isn't treated the planetary governess as if, "Oh, my governess, I must protect you." It's more like, "Ah, bitch, I've watched you fall every inch."
But it's different from being spiteful and doing something like that. You're under arrest, ma'am. Do not move. Don't try to swallow your tongue. At least I think so.
Well,
hang on,
no one's exactly said that.
For this.
No one's exactly said that. But again, you haven't fallen on your knees and gone, "Oh, my planetary governess, we're so worried about you. You're alive," and So
I mean, we also have to.
She's intelligent enough, people.
Oh, forget it.
She's intelligent enough, people, to understand that you were not here to save her. I mean, that's quite apparent.
People showed up. 3 people showed up. One equipped with a bolter. One equipped with a bolt pistol. One equipped with a multi-melter. One that definitely looks like a psychic pyromancer.
Yeah, carry a shield and sword
with your own gun cutter. With your own gun cutter.
It literally, Yeah, our own private gun cutter. We just kind of arrived. We're in a mishmash of very varied equipment, and it's a case of it really is that fucking gif of "Congratulations, you're being rescued. Don't fucking resist."
Yeah.
No. This is 40k, people. It very much looks like the Inquisition has you now, bitch.
So yeah,
I also just love that the first words out of our mouths were seeing her was me just saying, "You look worse than I feel."
Yes. Oh.
So
if it hasn't been done so already, as we're getting off, I am informing the commissariat that we have her, and we will drop her off wherever. Actually, no, we'll bring her back for treatment first, I suppose, so she doesn't die on us.
You
and
can
then
inform them that you're going back to the Lord Commander's personal home, whatever it was called, bastion. and they'll know what to do from there. So as you take off Ezio, again, Ceres is eating and drinking in the cabin. I'm sure Tiffany is chatting to her. The ship takes off more than high enough and far enough away. If you do want to use the psychic ability, you can with no ill effects.
Cool. I'll do it just to make sure she doesn't, die from bumping her little toe.
Yeah, we hit a bit of turbulence, just fucking cops it.
Yeah. So, boop. That passes. She heals 3 HP. Underwhelming, I know, but still.
Fair enough. She is still in critical, but not as far in critical. She could at least take three damage and still be alive. Fortunately, the skies are clear, and there are no more fighters or bad turbulence to deal with. It takes you a little while, 15, 20 minutes, because Ezio now knows he can just basically fly straight out or up or whichever direction he needs to, and then bank round, rather than searching for an area. So yeah, you get back to the bastion. The commissariat has already radioed in the bastion, so there's a medical team on site. A number of commissars are there to take the prisoner once you deliver her to them. However, they do inform you that the Inquisitor has already spoken to them, so she will be placed under guard within this facility under the Lord Commander's personal guards, or what remains of them, and the Inquisition. So you guys, you'd be informed by one of the Avants that Winters will be delayed for some hours as her duties are keeping her. If you wish to go speak to the Inquisitor, he is still in the war room, or as they look at, as he, she, they, it looks at Ceres Nightshade, you can go back to the guest suite to freshen up before giving a report. And with Ceres Nightshade gladly taking the, yes, I'll go and wash up before I see one of the most powerful people in, well, the one of 3 most powerful people on this planet. That is where we'll end this episode, unless anyone has anything urgent they want to do right at the end before they forget for next time.
Probably, but I think I forgot already.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's how we'll end this episode, as our group have finally acquired the last few missing pieces, and she governess. But you missed her arm, so no, minus points. There's still one piece out there to claim. We end our episode. So in the next episode, we have something that YouTube will find just delightful. We have a torture episode coming up. Marvelous.
Yay!
Where the group will be able to have all their questions and unanswered things answered, possibly. And they can find out a bit more about why the planetary governess fell. Although that was pretty apparent. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I certainly hope you've enjoyed and looking forward to future episodes to come. Take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.